class. Welcome to week 5. This is our final week. Oh my gosh, it went by so fast. And you guys have been an excellent class. I truly enjoyed grading your work and reading your comments, your letters, and job descriptions and things that you posted last week. Excellent job. Everyone turned in their assignments on time. You guys are stellar class. So thank you for that. So last week we talked about sentence structure. You guys talked about types of sentences and different things like that. And then you crafted letters to practice that, practice crafting sentences, right? Just a reminder as you're crafting those sentences, just a reminder that be careful of run-on sentences. Sometimes we get in a train of thought and we write everything that is going on in our head without putting any kind of punctuation in it. Well, you don't talk like that really, There is a breath in what you say. There's a pause after each sentence for you to take that breath. So think about that as you're crafting sentences. When your reader is reading, at some point there's a breath, a pause, and then you start the next sentence, a breath, a pause, and then you start the next sentence. Does that make sense? So you don't have these huge run-on sentences that go on forever. So be careful of that. And then also be careful of writing incomplete thoughts. For instance, that day I went to the store. Well, what about the store? What happened when you went to the store? That's not a complete sentence. It's not a complete thought. And your reader won't know what to do with that, right? So remember those tips. Be careful of fragmented sentences and run-on sentences. Okay, and there's a simple fix as a punctuation and making sure you have a subject and a noun and a verb, or a subject and a verb, right? Okay. Now, I don't know if I reminded you, but I'm going to remind you this week to be sure to complete your end of term survey. It was in week 4. You should have seen a link to it in week 4. You can still go in and complete that end of term survey. Again, I want to remind you, we do use your feedback to improve our courses, to improve our instruction. So please give us your voice. Tell us what you think of the course, okay? Answer each question and give your feedback. Now, let's move into week 5. This is our final week, and this is the week that's crucial because remember when we've done all this work from week 1 to week 4, right? We learned how to write sentences. We learned how to create an outline. We learned about a thesis statement. We learned how to organize a paper, making an introduction, a body, and a conclusion, right? Now you're going to put it all together. Now, some of you, when you submitted your outline, you submitted great topics in your outline and a lot of the information that you'll write in your paper. So a lot of you have the big chunk of the paper written because of what you put together in your outline. You could use that very same topic, that very same outline, and create your or write your paper. Now, the instructions in the paper says to write a 1 to 2 page essay. And I do want it to be at least 1 to 2 pages. But I also want you to keep in mind the structure of an essay, which is mentioned up here in your topics. You have an introduction paragraph, then you have body paragraphs, and then you have a conclusion paragraph. So your introduction paragraph sets up your paper. It talks about what you're going to discuss, not in specific terms, just broad points about what you're going to talk about in your paper. And it talks about your position on your paper. You're letting people know in your introduction paragraph what you think about your topic. Then in your body of your essay, you're going to have a paragraph for each topic that you're going to discuss. For instance, if you're talking about football and how you like football, then you should have at least 3 topics that you like about football. I like the players, I like the cheerleaders, I like competition, right? Those are the 3 topics. And then you're going to develop paragraphs about those 3 topics, 1 paragraph for each topic. Now you can have more than 3 paragraphs or more than 3 topics. I'm just using that as an example. What I'm trying to say is your paragraphs, there should be at least a paragraph for each topic that you're writing about. Okay? And then in your conclusion, it's another paragraph that sums up everything that you're talking about and gives your final thoughts on what you feel about this topic, right? And so that should be a paragraph that talks about, moving forward, since I'm passionate about this, I'm going to do this, or I watch every football game because of my passion for running backs or whatever, but that paragraph needs to sum up everything that you've talked about in the previous paragraphs. Now, I'm going to talk to you about a paragraph structure. A paragraph should be at least 5 sentences long. Anything less than 5 sentences is not a comprehensive thought in a paragraph. So I want you to pay attention to that. Make sure that you're not writing these little 2 or 3 sentences thinking that's a paragraph, because it's not. I want you to write a well-developed paragraph, at least at a minimum of 5 sentences, okay? Each paragraph. Right? If you have questions, please call me, email me, text me. I'm going to be available all this week. I'm going to be online all this week. So reach out to me. I can help you with your paper. I am looking forward to it because I have read some great topics. So I'm really looking forward to reading your papers. The other thing I want to encourage you to do, if you can, class ends on Friday at 11:59 p.m. If you can get your paper in before Friday, or if you can get your paper in early on Friday, however you want it, just before the end of the class, you'll see your grade long before Saturday, because I'll be grading throughout the day on Friday. So, or as your papers come in. So if you submit your paper tomorrow, I'm going to grade it tomorrow, right? So the earlier you get it in, the earlier you see your final grade. You all are doing a great job in this class. I'm not worried. I don't want you to skip this paper, though, because it will drop your grades tremendously. So don't do that. All right. So write your paper. Use your outlines and your thesis statement that you've already submitted. We'll make this quicker and better. And then make sure, if you haven't completed the end of term survey, to do so. And please, please, please contact me if you need help. All right. Have a great week, guys.